If you guys are on, can you hear me? Can somebody respond? My first time doing this, so I don't know how it works. Cool. My camera's a little wonky too. I'm trying to figure out how to use a better one where I can look more like this and it looks more normal, but I'm gonna have to figure this out for now. How are you guys doing? I'm trying to really get this going because I really want to talk to you guys more often. And plus, I know there's a lot going on right now. And I realized I've been going through a lot. I think I'm like literally going through a dark night of the soul. And I'm like, I really need somebody. And I figured maybe other people did too. So maybe it'd be easier to have a place where we can come together and it would help us all through it. So I probably look a little rough because I feel a little rough right now. Happy birthday, Sari. Is that how you say your name? Sarah, I'm getting back to you. Don't think I'm ignoring you. I've kind of fallen apart the last couple of days. So, I'm kind of getting myself back together, but it's been a little rough. So, okay, good. So, how's everybody been dealing with these energies? Especially, I think mine started literally when Uranus went retrograde. Thank you, Juan. Jen, I'm sorry. I'm going through a lot too. So, hopefully, we can all come together. I was sitting there like a little bit on the borderline of going crazy in my bathtub and was like, I just really need somebody. And it just kind of came to me where I was like, I really need to start coming on live and forming somewhat of a group where maybe we can like come together and help each other. No, no, not just once. I mean, I think they get easier every time, all the dark nights of the soul, but they're like those bittersweet things where they're like kind of horrible, at least for me during them, but then after you're like, I wouldn't have changed it for anything. So yeah, astrological. There's a lot going on, especially Uranus just went retrograde. Like when all my stuff started hitting, and I didn't even realize it. I kept hearing about it, and I didn't even realize it when I looked. It was like right that day it was hitting, and I'm like, oh my god. And I think it goes back direct in January of 2021. So, not to put a negative connotation on it, it's just it is a little intense and we need to, we roll with it. So each dark night of the soul should teach you, tools for the following ones. Um yeah, it's just it's something else and it's intense and it's bringing up so much stuff. So if anything anyone ever wants to also talk about the stuff they're going through, please feel free and I'll do my best to talk about it. And you guys can also talk to each other too. I hate that it doesn't look like I'm talking to you guys. Uranus is in Taurus right now. When it goes retrograde, I don't know exactly. I don't know because I hear kind of like mixed things on it. It either looks like it's going backwards or it is just the way it shifts direction. And you can feel that energy a lot. And a lot of times when planets are more direct, from my understanding, and I may be wrong, I'm not a pure astrologist, but the energies you can feel them, but they're more directed outwardly into society. And when they go retrograde, you can really feel those energies internal. So you're going to start working through and going through a lot of that energy internally. That doesn't mean that stuff's not going to go on outside of you. It just usually is like internal work. Same as like Mercury retrograde. When it goes retrograde, you feel it more, it's more intense. You're going to work through stuff. Like you just notice things more. If anyone else has anything else to say about that, um, let me know. But yeah, when things go retrograde, you just definitely you feel them more and it's more of an internal. There's usually more of an internal change than an external change from my understanding. However, it can happen through external things going on too. Nope. Huh. Hilaron, is that how you say that? How long when did that happen? Just within the last couple days? Yeah, dancing is awesome. I've been getting that a lot lately. I've had a lot of realizations lately. Hi, Katie. Yeah, that's probably Uranus retrograde. Popping up to remove them. Uranus retrograde, and Uranus energy anyways, is very much like tower energy. It's literally coming in and just blowing the lid off. So very much about awakening energy, realization energy, um, just those things that happen that show you what's not working for you anymore, what are false foundations, what needs to crumble and grow, what's not serving your highest good. Anything, it could be outside of you, inside of you. It's literally like if you were looking at the tower card. That's pretty much its energy. No, I don't think it's that you're not supposed to trust so much. Um, you'll end up trusting again. I mean, what it is that you might have it's probably at least two things. You were putting too much on other people, very dependent on other people and other things, but also usually when you have trust issues or you don't know really who to trust, it's because you don't know how to trust yourself. You don't have a strong relationship with yourself. So what it means is that right now, really you want to be, so you're probably in a hermit energy because of what's going on. And you really want to be taking this time to develop your relationship with yourself and your guides so that you know how to trust yourself. Um, and so you can trust yourself better when A, you meet other people like your soul family, and B, um, you're not so dependent on other people. My boyfriend and I are hanging on by a string because I don't talk to him well. Wow, this is making so much sense. What does that mean, you don't talk to him well? I know for me personally, I've had a lot of like my heart chakra is opening again. I have had a lot of realizations. I had a lot of energy moving. My stomach is all messed up. Um, I'm literally in a dark night of the soul. Like nothing I used to like to do, I get no enjoyment out of it. And I'm like literally having to like go and just take faith in this new direction. A lot of fears being brought up. You could feel the instability of Uranus shaking up and moving the other direction. Like, especially if you have Taurus, a lot of Taurus energy, you can feel it's not grounded in the same. You could feel that shake up. So it's probably going to make you feel a little, bring up your fears and your insecurities and just learn to roll with it. Says I talk to him like shit. Do you? I mean, you might. Are are you angry? Or is he just turning things around on you? I'd have to know more about that because that doesn't fully say like, some people say that, and it's blame shifting, and then some people, like does he give you examples how? I don't talk to him with respect, snarky, nasty. Yeah. Why do you do that, Teresa? Not judgmentally, but why do you do that? Why do you feel? Jen. Yeah. So does this guy deserve you talking to him that way? I mean, not that anybody really deserves that, but you get what I'm saying? Like, how long you guys been together? Did you meet him right after the abusive relationship? What's your horoscope sign, Teresa? Taurus. I don't know. You got a lot of healing to do to work through that and see why. Yeah. A lot of people, when they're not happy, they get really snarky or short. Like, you can get grumpy very easy. Are you not happy with him, though? Like, are you just with him just to be with him? Does he make you happy? Because if he really makes you happy, it should be healing for you. I mean, don't get me wrong, you're gonna have work to do, but it should push you to heal and better yourself. So are you happy? That's the question too. Any advice on learning how to respond to selfish persons who refuse to reciprocate and try to guilt trip me into doing more for them? Yeah, don't be around them if you don't have to. And if you do, then just do you. I mean, do you have to be around them? That's a draining energy to have that in your life if they don't want to reciprocate, but they want more from you. And I mean, if you have to, like, say if they're family, then you either need to limit your time, you need to have strong boundaries. Yeah. Guy, I agree. Me too. I had a realization the other day, like, you should really go towards people and things that really, like, they remind you who you are, you know? They don't make you forget who you are, and they remind you of your strengths and not your weaknesses, or, like, what you have versus what you don't have. And don't get me wrong, like, somebody can help you grow and see where you need to grow, and that's not, like, that they point out things to improve on, that's different, but, um somebody that you should be around should make you feel like you want to expand and you feel safe to expand. if you think of just all your shadows and your negatives and you just want to like your energy just goes like this, at least at that point in time, that's not a good energy to be around. The hardest part is to go within and look at all the good about yourself when it's a must. Yeah. I mean, it is, but it isn't for me. Like, I like looking at the good parts of myself, but when you've looked at stuff from such a lack and a fear mentality for so long, it's hard. It is hard to twist that over. I think it's hard. I think it's testing my love where I'm married. I mean, I think that really depends. I mean, I'd have to talk to you more on that and see really what the perspective is. Are they really like that's a perspective thing too. Like, do you really need to do more, or is it really them, or like where's the thing on that? But if you feel like you're not getting enough, I don't know. It's tricky. You need to have your boundaries and say what you need. There could be a perspective issue. There is a slight chance of that, but I don't know if I really get that vibe. I agree, Gaia. I think a lot of times the stuff that comes up, even with like twin flame and all that, like, I mean, I don't really know what to think about that. I don't think it really even matters. I think it was just working stuff out of a lot of people. Um, and sometimes when you're working through stuff, it's like the biggest thing when you work through all this stuff and you realize that everything you wanted is right in front of your face. Are you wanting somebody because you're trauma bonding with them? Where they either keep you small or they remind you of who you're not, who you wanted to be, or something growing up that you're not even yourself, you're not even that person anymore. It's just the traumas of when you were younger, or is it somebody who truly makes you safe to truly be you, like that genuine you? And that's a huge thing. Like most people, they trauma bond and they're like, "Oh, it's something so crazy and special." And it's like, I mean, I guess, but not really. You don't want to keep remembering who you're not. You don't want to keep remembering all your wounds and stuff. Yeah, you want to work through them, but you don't want to keep ripping a wound open. You want to remember who you are. You want to wake up and you want to remember your strengths and your weaknesses. Like do shadow work, of course, but you shouldn't always think about what you're not. That's going to lead to imbalance. Thank you, Michael. Yeah, Teresa, I agree. My health is definitely taking a hit during this dark night of the soul. It really sucks. He gives, just does things on his own, but wants me to do things immediately. It sounds like you need to do some boundary work. You need help with that, let me know. It's hard to see all these. Yeah, I agree. A twin is an ascension catalyst if you kinda use it just for that and don't allow it to get you stuck. Um, After a while, you realize, though, it's really just yourself. Like, in my opinion, what really helps you get off the energy of the twin energy is when you start putting all that energy into yourself and you develop who you are, like, literally who you are. And the more that I develop who I am and find out who I am, the more none of that energy matters. like the whole telepathy thing, the whole, them bothering you and all that, and being drawn by it and it pushing you around. It doesn't do it anymore when you do that. And then you just realize you want better. Like, that it's not even, a lot of times it's not even really what you want anyways. Somebody reminded me of who I was and always have been, and that helped. Right. Trauma bond, amazing wording. I've been alone for a while, no men at all, but exactly what you're saying applies to my current work situation. I am trying to get out of trauma bonding and career. Got a new interview tomorrow. Good luck with your interview. I hope it's something that you really, really like and it works well for you. Thank you, Sarah. It's hard to build yourself up sometimes. Like, I mean, I have an energy that's hard for me to give up, but sometimes, like, I just get tired. That's why I'm like, I have to find other things like this to, um, like, help me through it, I was trying to think, I was like, what helped me through it and got me out of it last time? And it was certain, like, supplements and certain things, but it was also, like, group and group help, and I think I went to, like, groups and stuff, and literally, I really don't wanna do that right now, and there are certain ones I can't go to, and that's where I thought of this. I was like, "Let me just go on YouTube Live and, like, form a group." Like, I know I can't be the only person going through this stuff, and maybe it'll just help us through it. Uh, Michael, can I say something very serious? I've been listening to you for a couple years now, and no matter which reading you're doing, the smoke detector is beeping. I know. I'm sorry. I really need to get it fixed. It's not a battery. Um, I need to replace the smoke detector. I think I actually need to replace 2 of them. Um, because I think because they're all synced and they're, like, old. It's either, like, a little water got into it or it's old. So, it causes the other to beep. I even tried, like, taking the battery out or taking the smoke detector off, and then it makes, like, the others beep. So, I just have to get, like, a couple new smoke detectors, and I need to do it because it doesn't sound that great. I don't even hear it anymore, but I know you guys probably do, but I need to do it. I just haven't done it. It hasn't been my priority. I am protected. They work. My smoke detectors work. They're just, it's like that chirp they're doing where they're like, "Hey, excuse me, we need attention," and it's actually not even this smoke detector. It's one in the other bedroom, and they're all connected. And one time when my roof leaked before I got a new roof, like, water drained into it. Um, so I think that's why it's beeping. Because even if I take it off, even if I take off the battery and all that, trust me, I'm not that lazy that I haven't replaced my battery after all these years. So, I'm sorry. Are you grappling too right now? Does grappling mean struggling? If so, yeah, a little bit. Yeah, I'm definitely in a dark night of the soul. And my energy and my health is just all wonky. It's all over the place. Um, so I don't know. Like right now, I honestly I want to vomit. I Hopefully it calms down because it kind of had gotten so bad for me in the last couple days. It messed my stomach up. Whenever I get really, really anxious and my energy's really bad, it really messes my stomach up. So I really hope it calms down in the next couple of days because it makes it hard to eat. Like I just don't even want to eat, but I need to eat. So but I am seeing people. So I went and got a massage and I've been doing acupuncture like every week. And I'm gonna do a chiropractor and just really focus on taking care of my body and have been doing some energy work. And honestly, I think that's one thing that's leading to all this. I've been doing a lot of energy work on myself. So it's been moving a lot of stuff. How are you applying self-care right now? Salt baths, meditation, stone crystals. Salt baths for sure. I've been doing. Like I said, I kinda got hit from my guides beforehand, like, before this even happened, they're like, "You're gonna need to start going to see people." So I went and got, like, a really deep massage. Um, I've been doing a lot of energy work on myself. I've been doing I need to do the chiropractor still. I did acupuncture. I've been doing that every week on myself. I'm sorry, not on myself, going and get it, and someone's been doing it on me. I do need to see a chiropractor. I feel like they can help me with alignment. Oh, I've also started doing yoga every day just to help me like calm down. Between that, like what I've really been guided to do lately is either yoga, stretching, or dancing. So, I mean, I can walk to or whatever. I'd really like to earth more. That's really what's been coming up for me. But the mosquitoes here are kind of a problem, and we have a lot of ants. I have to clear the ants out of my yard. So that really sucks because my body really wants to go outside and earth, but I can't really do that much in my backyard right now. Um, and honestly, I'm just going as I can. The certain supplements that helped me before, like CBD oil, to me is like amazing. Adaptogens. Just really trying to listen to my guides on what I need. Yeah, there's a lot of intense energies lately. Yeah, start walking. I've been healing a lot of my heart. Um, so I have other things I use to help me too lately that's been helping me work through some of blocked stuff in my heart. Um, so just really honestly just kind of trying to balance mostly being to myself, but also spending time doing other things. I kind of wrote on a piece of paper like I was guided to write in my journal, and I opened to a page and it said like what you love. And so I wrote down like, because I channel write a lot, like what do I love? And I wrote down all the things I love and what makes me feel good. And then my blood pressure was high, and I don't normally have high blood pressure. So I have this like book that tells like medical reasons of things, like spiritual to medical. And I was like, what does high blood pressure mean? And it said um a long-standing problem, emotional problem that hasn't been resolved. And so I'm like, "Oh, okay, well, what is that?" And then I started looking at that, and then the paragraph above that had all the things I listed that I love that make me feel good. And I realized in that moment, I'm like, "I don't do any of these things. I don't do any of them. I resist all of them." So, it was kind of a pivotal moment for me where it really integrated deep in me, and I had seen it and known it before, but it really integrated in that level where I was like, "Oh my god." So the emotional problem, even though there's all these other little sub-emotional problems that are stemming from that, was I was sabotaging my own happiness and joy, and it's causing issues and blocks and health problems. Because I wasn't doing any of those things. Everything I was doing was like mostly obsessive type things, to be honest with you, habitual and obsessive. They really weren't actually bringing me joy. So I started really being determined to focus on those things. Like this is one of them. I was like, all right, I've been saying it for a while. I'm just going to do it. Like no more excuses. Make a little box out of wood and you could put sand or sod, even with lid on it. So just so no animals use it. Put it somewhere you could sit. I live in the country. It would become an ant bed in like a day. I'm trying to use natural stuff to get rid of the ants. Like my backyard is full of fire ants. Um, and I'm trying to do natural stuff because my backyard is basically full of foods that either feed me, like trees, plants that feed us, or they are medicinal. So I'd rather it not pull up poison if I can help it, but I don't know, I might just have to, like, bite the bullet and just put stuff down just to do, like, a mass getting rid of them and then let the plants flush themselves out for a little while and then do natural things, just because it's gotten bad for so long. I wanted to do it before the yard got too full of stuff. My husband was always like, "No, let's use this," and, like, none of it worked, and now, like, literally my whole yard is an ant bed. So it sucks because it would be a great place to, like, earth. Yeah, meditation's great too. I don't know, I've actually been going through this stuff. I think how mine started was, um my body started, like, shivering and shaking a lot. I would wake up in the middle of the night and kind of almost go it was almost borderline a panic attack, but I would start, like, shaking at the same time, and at first, at that time, it was pretty draining because 'cause you're kind of, like, hitting it's almost like a panic attack, and that's very draining. And then I've been my guides have brought me to a lot of, like, somatic stuff, like somatic experiencing. Um, and I realized that your body shivering is actually a really healthy thing for you. It's working through stuff. It's one of the reasons why exercise is really good for you, especially when you do exercise where you kind of shake a little bit so your body can work off that energy and emotions. Um, so I really am starting to look more into like somatic type exercises and experiencing to help the body release stored emotions. Like I feel like this part of my awakening is releasing stuff from my body. Um, so I've really been looking into that in certain positions, like when my body does that, because I can very easily go into a fight or flight mode. You guys have probably seen it in a lot of videos or whatever, but you put your butt up against a wall, like your back is on the floor, your butt's up against the wall, and your legs are going up the wall, and it helps put you in rest and digest mode. So, um, whenever the couple times that I had experienced that, well, the first couple times actually I didn't know this, and it was a little bit more hard. It was hard on me because literally you're like mixing a panic attack with your body kind of shivering and shaking, like you're kind of twitching a little bit actually, not fully in a seizure kind of way, but you're kind of twitching. And I'm not saying this is normal, so go see medical advice if it's happening. I'm just telling you what I feel with myself. But and so once I figured out about putting myself up against a wall like that, it puts me into like more of rest and digest. It takes me out of panic mode. And I just my body then it just shakes for and it's shorter, like because I'm not like freaking out, it's shorter. Instead of it lasting like an hour, it only lasts like 20 minutes, and then it just kind of shakes it off, like kind of just twitching, and then I like think about stuff while it's going on, and then I feel lighter afterwards. So I knew intuitively, even the first time I had it, even though the first time freaked me out, that I was releasing something. I mean, it did scare me because I'm like, oh my God, am I on the brink of having a seizure? But I kind of just more knew intuitively I was releasing stuff and working through stuff. But uh it's still treated a lot like a panic attack, and I don't know if any of you have ever had a panic attack, but it really messes your head up for a little while and puts you in, like, a very inflamed mode. It's draining. So, it was nice to be able to do that and not go into a panic mode because 'cause I'm still healing. Like, I realized recently I have a lot of, like, PTSD and trauma and CPTSD. So, I'm, like, trying to retrain my nervous system because that stuff can really screw up your nervous system. So, yeah, it is very grounding, very centering. So, it's nice. So if that ever happens and you're, like, in the moment of it, I recommend doing that because if you have the tendency to go into a panic mode, it helps pull you out of that and put you in rest and digest, and then your body can just do what it needs to do. Just let it, because your body 99% of the time, your body knows better than you what to do. It's an amazing, you know, I wanna say machine, but I guess we're kind of a machine, but I mean, it knows what to do. You know, you don't have to think about to breathe, you don't have to think about to digest your food, it just does it. So, most of the time your body knows what to do, and most of the time you can trust it to just do what it needs to do. Yeah, we've all been going through ascension symptoms. Yes, nerves are shot. CBD, I will say CBD oil, if you gotta get a good one though, they're not all created equal. Um, it's like it really helps while you're going through it too. I've become aware over the last couple of years of cellular memory trauma on the anniversary of things that happened. I too go through similar things of late, and I connected the dots. Yeah. I'm really realizing this. I actually really want to take a couple classes on the somatic, it's like somatic experiencing or whatever, because it really shows how a lot is stored in the body. And then there's some people who have trauma that they don't even know how to access it. Like you'll be like, "Oh, what's wrong? What do you think about this?" They're like, "I don't know." Like they don't even know. They're so out of themselves that they don't even know, and they're so disconnected, but their body remembers. So it's like, I don't know what's wrong, but yet they'll have like anxiety, they'll have panic attacks, they have all this stuff, and the body remembers. And I know I'm being brought to it for a reason because I'll be helping people with that. So I got to use it A to heal myself, but B, people really need this right now. We're really, really releasing things out of our body, and it can be pretty intense sometimes, and sometimes people need help with that. So I really want to look into that more because I just know that's what's happening. I feel like the first part of my awakening, it really showed me more of the psychological stuff. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's more to come, but it really like I just woke up to the whole like, whoa, I didn't see any of this. And now it's like, now that, and that's where I was like stuck for so long. It's like, cause I saw it, but something else was like pulling me back and not in alignment. And part of my energy was off, and part of it's still stuck in my body. And I had all this fear and all this stuff. And so a lot of that has really been clearing and cleansing out. And basically my cells are releasing. I can't smoke the funk, and so my boyfriend said CBD. Yeah, sometimes you gotta be careful with smoking anyways though, because if you have a tendency to like freak out kind of, or like even like become paranoid when you smoke, um, you can some people tend to anyways go into like a not a paranoid, but you can have like a panic attack from smoking or whatever. Um, unless you get a certain type of smoke that isn't so high, I think, on THC or whatever. But I know for me, when I was working out of my last dark night of the soul and the health stuff it brought me, CBD oil was one of the best things for me that helped because my body would literally shake all the time. I literally, it worked a number on my nervous system. But like I said, not all CBD oil is created equal. So I will share the next time I go on, I'll bring my CBD oil. I don't think I have it up here. Um, but I'll show you the kind I have. It's through Lazarus Naturals. Um, and they, in my opinion, from what I found, they have like one of the best qualities of CBD oil. I'm not saying it's the best, but it's one of the best for the price. Um, and I think they even just lowered their price even more. And if you're low income, if you get disability, or if you're a veteran, you get like a crazy discount. Like I think like 60% off or something. So it makes it even super cheaper. Um, because they try to make it really affordable for people by wiping out the middlemen. And so they limit a little on advertising, and they grow their own stuff. And um, I just really like it. It's what I've been using. So, and it's really good price compared to some of the others, and it's good quality. Yeah, I put it under my tongue. It's Lazarus Naturals. Um, and I really, really recommend that you get the chocolate mint because the other ones are not that great tasting. Even the chocolate mint is like, meh, none of them, you're not gonna be like, but I think the chocolate mint is the best. Like now I don't even taste it. I just put it in my mouth and it goes. But all the other flavors I really did not like. I mean, at the end of the day, it's about your health, so we're not looking for pleasure here. You want it to be tolerable, but I just think the chocolate mint is the best. I've tried, I think, all the flavors. I think they have one that doesn't have a flavor. I'm not sure, but I get the one that's the full spectrum. Um, and it's the chocolate mint, but that really helped me a lot. Rescue Remedy is for anxiety. What's in Rescue Remedy? Is that like magnesium or what helps with it? Do you know, Jen? It's a flower herbal extract. Oh, that's another thing. I don't know, maybe that has it in it. Lemon balm tincture. I don't know if they have pills or not in that, but lemon balm is like it's some good stuff too. I batch flower remedy. I'll have to look that up. Rescue remedy. I mean, I try to switch around what I use. I don't like to use the same thing all the time, so I don't use lemon balm all the time. I kind of, but I mean, the CBD oil I do use every day. Batch flower company. But other things I try to switch them up. Like sometimes I'll use oregano essential oil, like the one I have you could take internally, and I'll take that sometimes. Sometimes I just weather through it on my own. Sometimes I'll use the lemon balm. I was considering getting CBD oil, but it's pretty expensive where I live. Is that live chancing? I don't know what live chancing is. And I don't know how much it would be to send it to. I don't know where you are, but I mean, you could have it shipped to you. I know if you get it, I know Lazarus Naturals, and I have nothing to do with them. And there probably are other companies that are great too. I actually know there are. But like I said, for the quality versus price, and I didn't continue researching because once I found them, I liked their product, but theirs was good for the quality versus price. Because some are pretty cheap, but they're crappy quality. It's like there's these almost like you don't even notice you're taking anything. And then some are like really, really good, but they're really, really expensive. Like I think Charlotte's Web is like really expensive. Chamomile is also calming. Does anybody else feel lately where like your heartbeat is just beating fast all the time? Almost feels like it's just, I don't want to say beating out of your chest, but at the very least faster than normal. Like maybe it's just all the electric energy from Uranus. But about vape CBD, you can. I think some people do it. I don't have that. I could. I mean, I. Oh well, I do have flower CBD that I smoke sometimes, but try not to use it as much. It doesn't seem to work as much for me, and sometimes I don't know. I go back and forth between like I don't always like to smoke things. Like sometimes my lungs feel weird, but some people do it. So it's whatever works for you. It was, but I'm better now. Jen, are you talking about the heartbeat on that? Did it go away on its own? If you are, I'm gonna have to do more research. Hopefully, my body just gets used to it after a minute. I think that's what happened the last time Uranus went retrograde. Like I kind of felt it for a little while, and then after like a month or two, I kind of got used to it. My body just gets flustered very easily. So, ever since my awakening. So I have missed you guys. I'm sorry I haven't been doing, I don't want to say as many readings because I'm not always consistent with my readings, but I've been wanting to do more, but going back and forth between stabilizing myself and then I could tell my guides are like leading me towards information that had I not been looking into that, I wouldn't have it now during this, and also a little bit of distracting and resisting myself and all of that. Also, I just feel like I wanna change some things on my channel, like, just the type of readings that I'm doing and how like, talking and helping to people. Yeah, I'm a Taurus, Taurus sun. Yeah, I'm going through a turning point. My first started in 2016, 2017. Well, I guess technically it started in 2012 when I met my husband. That's when I kinda went more on the, um it created a safe platform for me to feel safe, and then when things started hitting in 2016 and 17, I was able to see it because I was with him. And that's when I had my actual I knew I was going through an awakening in my dark night of the soul. And then I kind of stabilized for a little while, and I was told by somebody that it was giving me a break. I'd have another one, but it would be for my highest good or whatever. So, okay. I'll have to look at Rescue Remedy. Yeah, I'm really in tune. Sometimes I'm very in tune with my body. Sometimes I think I'm too in tune. It's a little annoying sometimes. I can feel every little thing. So, late 16 is when my journey began as well, all of 17, 18. Yeah. Yeah, I had a long dark night of the soul. I think that yeah, I remember that's when we started talking. It was long. Oh my god. And it took such a toll on my body. Like, literally, my body was deteriorating. Oh, thanks. Um, and I think that's one thing I was, like, scared of when I was going back into this. I was like, "Oh my god, please. I don't wanna go back into that again." I mean, not like just the Dark Night of the Soul, I'm willing to do shadow work, but it was pretty rough, and it was long, and I deteriorated, and I was like, "I don't wanna deteriorate." Like, I healed a lot of that, but I don't think I will. I have a lot of tools now, I think, hopefully, to really help me. I think because we're actually pretty stubborn, change happens to us, but not by us. Yeah, I'm trying to get better at that, though. Like, I think I'm gonna go through uncomfortability anyways, because let's face it, uncomfortability helps you, but it's either gonna be hard or it's gonna be harder, and I'm also trying to, like, look at the positive side of it. I don't know, some people are super excited about it. I don't understand it. I don't know if we're just, like, going through more or if it's just our viewpoint, like, some people will be, like, so excited, and I'm like, "Have you not hit that phase yet?" Or what what is so I don't know, maybe I do make it worse. I don't really know, but I don't think it would ever be that bad again, not like that, too much healing and learning. Yeah, I agree. That's why I'm on here right now, to be honest with you, because like I said, I was like, "Okay, let me put a group together because I didn't wanna do what I did last time." So I had to really remember, like, what supplements really helped me, what did I do that got me there before, what got me out of it before, and going to groups really was one of the things that really, really helped me. And here's another thing too, when you're going through this stuff that because a lot of times what really depresses you, um, besides the fact that, like, you're not who you were anymore and that's being stripped away from you, and it's like, "Who am I?" Before you go to new things, like, what do you do? I don't know because I don't know who I am yet. But what helps you in the middle time, you, like, have a routine, like, put some routine together that you can do every day, and that gives you grounding. Um, Give yourself something that you do have control over, because this is a process where to some degree you have to release control. Um, you have to settle with the fear and anxiety. It won't be as bad because you know tools. Um, what was I saying? Oh, you won't have control during this process to some degree. So do the other things you do have control over, like develop a routine, whether it's you get up every day and you go for a walk, or you get up every day and you make your bed and then you go for a walk, or you journal every day, or you meditate. You wake up every morning at 5 in the morning and you meditate. Um, yeah, I definitely, when I eat now, I do not eat for flavor. I eat for I literally ask my body, is this what you want right now? So I do the same thing. Um, but also make sure, and I know this sounds like an obvious, but make sure you're taking showers and baths, because sometimes when you go really into a dark night of the soul and you get really depressed, it's really easy to not want to do those things, or you don't even have the energy to do it or whatever, and you don't even realize how much that affects your energy. So, um, like I said, it sounds like a given, but it's not always. So make sure you're taking a shower, if not every day, at least every other day or something like that. Um, Listen to your body, have someone to talk to. That's my downfall, no routine. I agree. Teresa, it really sounds, to be honest, if I have to be honest with you, it really sounds like you really need to focus on working on and building your identity. It's like all of who you are is built around your abuse and everything, and you don't even know who you are. And I think that's what you're so frustrated about. It's so much resentment and pent up frustration that's a part of you is just screaming to get your attention. And instead of you looking at it, you're focusing that outwardly. So if I were you, I'd really use this time for self creation, self discovery. Don't create love through people, create love through, you are that love you're looking for. I know it sounds so cliche, but it is. You create love. They're just mirroring what you want to feel. And most people, why they feel sad is because they have no one to give it to when it's just there. So create that love, whether it's in hobbies, self discovery, self expression. Even if you're I don't know what I want to do, that's fine. Trial and error. It just the fact that you're giving you that attention and you're working on yourself and you're building that relationship. Um, it's a good point. Hot water is a depressant. I never thought of that. Really says a lot about self-love. So really focus on that, develop some things for yourself of a routine and what feels good. So Jen, what does that mean? You always take cold showers, which is not bad, honestly. That's a good thing. Wim Hof does that. I probably need to start doing that. Because I know I need to start doing breathing things too. I'm always giving. I'm a Taurus. I don't think about me. Well, it's probably why you're so angry. So stop doing that. I mean, you still want to give, but you want to give to yourself too, and you want to give to the people who are reciprocating energy. Give and take. You won't definitely want to be given back, but you should absolutely be giving to your own energy. Huh. I think I am going to try the cold water thing though. The eternal sensation starts on, it's on with me at random. It is really uncomfortable. Either I'll stop what I'm doing, take a few breaths while identifying toad ahead. What do you mean by eternal sensation? Like that just loss of control of you just disappearing into the cosmos and becoming everything and nothing at the same time? Is that what you mean by that? Drea, is that how you say that? Drea? Yeah. Let me get cooler before I exit. Yeah, I have a hard time with balance too. I'm getting better at it though. Working on really like moderation. No, it feels like pressure pulling inside of me. But what feels eternal about it? What's the eternal sensation? You hate balance. Why? I strive for it. Expectations are built in resentments. Mind blowing state I learned this year. Yeah, for the most part, that's true. I mean, you want to be able to still like have dreams and hope and see it coming, but also go with the flow. I guess like anxiety or uncomfortable. Balance feels like a game that aims to distract you. I mean, I guess I can maybe see why you feel that way, but I feel like it's needed because I mean, we're Scorpio's opposite sign. We're pretty intense people. Like, I think the two of the biggest people that have a hard time with balance are Scorpio and Tauruses and Pisces. So, um, like I'm that type that I can like go and go and go and keep doing the same thing, and that's not healthy. Like it keeps me focusing from both sides. Yeah, I don't know. I'm all about balance. I really, really, really focus on balance because if I don't, things get messed up. Like I like seeing different sides of things, and sometimes I also have to pull me off something that I really like and try something different because too much of one thing is not a good thing. Even if it's a good thing, too much of a good thing becomes not a good thing. Um but yeah, I strive for balance anyways though cuz I haven't been good at it. I'm a balanced person. So I don't know, what do you think though? Scorpions are my kryptonite. Mhm. I have a love-hate relationship with Scorpios. All this talk made me get up and make my green smoothie with kale and blueberries. Sipping now. Mhm. Good. I'm glad that helped you. If that's what it was. Wasn't listening to my angels. They were sending me the signs to get balance. Get it, April. Scorpios, to me, I find they do have a very strong pull. So I do have to be careful with it. But I find that the more that you find who you are and like you really work on yourself and developing who you are, I find Scorpios have less and less pull. So I at one time I was like that, but now I kind of not so much pulled by it, where I'm just like, meh. Um, I'm still waiting on, especially a male. Like I don't know what an evolved male Scorpio looks like. And I get that's perspective too, but um, yeah, yeah, you would be. It's a very intense energy. I get it. Like it brings you in very much of your primal nature, and they make it easy to be bad. Not bad, but you get what I'm saying. Yeah, she does look like she's reading the chat. So I do have to be very careful with that. It does kind of suck me in a little bit with Scorpio energy. Like they pull me into my shadow for sure. And not that I'm not okay with that. I'm okay with that, but it's a very intense energy and it can really pull you. So I'm very careful with it. But I would really actually like to meet like an evolved Scorpio male, like even just to know like what are they like, and are they I'm sure a lot of them will tell you they're evolved, but and I get that subjective, but my weakness are Libras. What is it about Libras? I have a lot of Libra energy in me. Mostly, I think it's my stellium. Literally scared of them. Pisces men get me in my feels. Oh my god. I don't know about Pisces. I have to be very careful with Pisces. I have a lot of Pisces in me. My main three energies are Taurus, Gemini, and Pisces. But I also have a lot of Sag and Libra in me as well. But Pisces, they are very another dualistic sign. So they're either like really one way or the other. And I find too, like how they say they absorb energies a lot. I find that they can actually like take their energy. When I first started doing energy work, I had to be careful. I would be drained every time after working with them. So, and if they're very unaware, then a lot of times they also have very addictive habits and they can sometimes have a lot of entities in them because they're just so open. So if they're unaware of themselves and their energy is so open like that and they just draw in. But they're very loving energy. I find Taurus and Pisces love very similar. Used to have issues with female Scorpios. Then I learned that my moon is in Scorpio. Then I'm like, Empress, whatever your name is, Assassiana, Yada, whatever. What's your sun sign? Are you a Taurus? My twin is a double gem, Virgo moon, Venus and Taurus. You still haven't told me what you like, why Libras are your weakness. That's probably why you get drained around Pisces. I mean, it's mostly you. It's not just them. It's mostly you. You gotta create better boundaries. As I've worked on myself, they don't drain me the way they did when I first started doing energy work. They would drain me so much to the point that a couple of times I actually got sick. By the end of the session working with them, I was sick. So I'd be careful. Yeah, you're a Taurus. Okay. The thing I find with Taurus is too, women or men, it's obviously more apparent with women to women with the Taurus Scorpio axis, is there's a lot alike, there's also a lot of differences, and a lot of the alikes are expressed in different ways, but you have that power control dynamic between Taurus and Scorpios. So you really got to be careful with them with other I at least I feel with other Scorpios. And especially it's a little easier when they're evolved because what really sucks is when a Scorpio doesn't know how to talk and explain, and sometimes like they think they know or they misread you or something, and then they're either gone or they sting you. But I find that I can feel now the power struggle, the power access between Taurus and Scorpio. Um, so I'm not gonna say I tread lightly, but I kind of do because we're both very powerful and intense signs. So, you gotta be a little careful with that. But I like Scorpios. I like Scorpio females too. I'm just a little careful because in some ways we're so much alike that it's amazing. And in some ways we're so different. But the reason I'm trying to say this where it makes sense, like how we react to things can be very different, but the reason we react is the same. So it stems from a similarity, but like Tauruses are a spring energy, they're more of a lighter energy, whereas Scorpios are ruled by Mars, they're the underworld, they're more of the shadow, so they carry a lot more anger and stuff in them. So sometimes I don't always agree with that, but I really try to respect it because I understand where they're coming from. I withdraw to them and get let down because you can't actually trust Libras. It's funny. Yeah, I think I've heard some people say that about Libras, like they're kind of two-faced or like they'll act. Libras tend to, it depends too if they're evolved or not, but they tend to want peace and balance. So they'll kind of be different ways about different around different people. I don't interact with a lot of Libras, and I don't try to do that. I just don't. I don't have a lot of Libras in my life. Um, but they very much are about like balance and harmony and stuff like that, especially more of an involved one. So and a lot of people think they can't trust that because they'll say and do one thing over here with this person and then they'll do something over here and it's just them balancing those scales. But what do you guys think though? I mean, do you guys think, I guess sometimes I probably will just pop on and just see who's on, especially since I'd probably need it right now more right now too, but about getting together, like, is this helping? Do you guys like this? Does it kinda give you ideas or feel like you're not so alone? Because I know sometimes that's with me, like, I get sometimes I have to be alone, I have to be with myself, but sometimes it's nice not to feel like you're alone or you're going through it alone. Yeah, me too. I like more talking though too. I wish we could all just talk and be together versus having to, like, read everything, but it is nice. Now, keep in mind, everything I say too, like, anytime you ever feel guided to, please go get help. Like, I feel like this did you guys watch my, what was the title of the video? It's about werewolves, like, how to navigate hard times or not give up or something. Um, this is all of what I was talking about in that video where my guides were like, "Do this," and they kept showing me werewolves in, like, not long after I did that video, and it was weird because one day I was sitting there not long before this happened, and I saw it was like an animal hair. I don't know if it was a cat or a dog, but I saw this animal hair floating by, and I caught it when it was right about here, and it was floating by, but it was, like, weird. It was floating like a feather, like, in the wind. It was kinda like this, but it was at my house. There's no wind, so it's just, like, slowly floating by, going like this, and I caught it halfway by, and as soon as I saw it, I heard, "You will be okay." And I was like, "Oh god, what does that mean? What's gonna happen? Like, that's good to know. I'll be okay, but what's gonna happen?" So, you know, I always get signs and stuff like that, but I relate so much to that werewolf video, like everything in that's going on. Zoom. How do you Zoom with that many people? I'd have to have like a membership, wouldn't I? Like I'd have to pay. But I don't know if I finished what I was saying. Please always don't just listen to me too. Like, seek help if you need to get help. That's what made me think of the werewolf video. Like, seek help if you guys need to. Don't just be like, oh, it's okay. It's just this. Because sometimes people need assistance through, um, sometimes people need assistance through their stuff too, whether it's holistic, Western medicine, whatever. So just remember that sometimes, people need help. So just remember too that sometimes you need help. So ask for it, not just from us, but sometimes medical advice too. Um, I don't know. Maybe I'll look into that and see how much a Zoom membership is. And then, I mean, I don't know how easy it would be to talk with like a bunch of us, but maybe it's possible. I mean, I am fine like this too. It's nice, honestly. Like, it's nice like this too, but it would be also nice to talk. I have to start my meds again. The anxiety was too crazy. What meds are you talking about, Teresa? It does help to talk too because it helps your emotions not have so much control over you. Also sometimes it's nice too, right? Like if you are getting scared and you go in a victim mindset, like how you guys are helping each other and helping me. Sometimes it helps you remember your power and who you really are when you could be on the other side of the coin. You know what I mean? Like not always just I need help, but sometimes when you're able to help others, not in an imbalanced way where you're just overly giving, but sometimes it helps you remember like, oh, that's right. I have power too. I'm not powerless. Sometimes these energies can really make you feel powerless. And that's really, you want to go with the flow, but you don't want to feel powerless because power helps you heal. Power, and I don't mean greed power, I mean your power center power. It helps you heal. You're welcome, Gaia. I hope to talk to you again soon. I'm definitely going to look into the Zoom thing again. I'm probably going to go soon too, because mostly this was a test. I just wanted to see how it would go, how to work it, who would pop on. It was nice talking to you too, Gaia. It's been a while. Can my mom pay for a reading for me somewhere else other than PayPal? She says her account gets hacked every time she uses that. Um, yeah, I mean, it depends. You can email me. I know I have Vimeo as well. And then I don't know, maybe we can look in other things if she doesn't have Vimeo. But email me at eyes wide open, EYEZ, like zebra, EYEZ, wide open 1111 at gmail.com. Pretty sure that's it. Eyes with a Z, wide open 1111 at gmail.com. It's in the description box of my videos. Any advice on the next full moon? When is that? We're literally in. Is it literally a new moon right now? When's the new moon? Or is it the 20 something? Well, we're in the energy. I think it's on August 19th. Thank you, Teresa. This feels nice. Been feeling very unsure of myself and it's just comforting connecting with people. So you have any advice on strengthening that power center? Yeah. Um, there's a lot of things you can do. Like you can listen to meditations for your solar plexus. You can do solar plexus exercises. Um, honestly, even just taking the actions that block you from not having a strong solar plexus. Jen, what are you talking about tomorrow? Oh, yeah, the moon. It's the 18th. It says on here the 19th at 2:41, but I guess it depends on what part of the world you're at. Like maybe 18th or 19th, yeah. Um, I'm still working on my solar plexus. But it is getting stronger, but you know, your identity, so like working on your identity, who you are, doing the things like even if you're like, "Oh, I don't normally do that. I'm not strong enough." You do it anyways. You don't listen to that fear voice, the self-sabotaging voice. But especially like meditations, whether it's just guided meditations, frequency meditations, solar plexus exercises, Google it. Google and you like honestly, Google and YouTube are two of my best friends. And also like soul tribe people that I find along the way and us sharing advice that we share with each other. Um, but look into it, and trust your guides with that. Like, cause also what I would recommend that might not be what's strengthening for you, but really your solar plexus is really about, your power center, your identity, your ego, decision making, um, just who you are, boundaries. Somebody who has a weak solar plexus probably does not have strong boundaries. And it's going to be a staging process. And you got to work on that because, like, somebody could go in, like, I could go in and clear out your solar plexus and balance it. But if you don't change the actions of what you're doing that caused it to be imbalanced in the first place, it's just going to become imbalanced again. It's going to guck right back up. So that's why it's really good to like talk and do sessions with each other. And CCT, like I do CCT work, and that's um I love CCT. It's helped me a lot. My email is in my description box under my videos. So if you just literally click and then like the oh my god, down arrow under the videos, but it's in there. But it's literally like the name of my channel, like but all one word. So it's eyes EYEZYWIDE open OPEN 1111. So eyes with a Z, wide open 1111 at gmail.com. But it is in my just the description box under my videos. And working on boundaries, very important. You're welcome. Trust your guides too. You know what I mean? Like set the intention, like literally ask your guides, show me. Show me what I can do to work on my powerhouse. Like strengthening my solar plexus. Also looking at, what are your symbols of power? Thank you for pasting that about my email. Um like I realized for me one of mine is attention. Just being honest, that's one of mine. Um Most people who are overgivers, attention is to the validation. Attention, security, money, I guess. Love, and really looking at them and seeing like, do they serve you? And that's really where you have to look at your symbols of power because say you go through an awakening and you realize some of your symbols of power aren't healthy and you wipe that out, but you don't know how to find new ones and retrain your brain to new ones, you're gonna be in craps creek for a little while until you could figure that out because not only are your dark night of the soul gonna be pretty deep and last a long time, but your body's not gonna be able to heal. Your body heals through power, energy, life force, energy, power. So it really is worth it to look at what are your symbols of power? Where do you derive that from? And be honest. There's no right or wrong. There's no good or bad. Just be honest with yourself about what they are and ask whether or not they serve you so you know whether to change them or not. And then you can look for new ones that will bring you a sense of power. And really what you want to do is channel that energy into healthy ones, whether it be, working out or, helping people, but not in a overgiving way, in a make something out of it, create, do something with it. Um, take care of your health, just taking care of yourself. For me, I don't know when to take the safe option, when to take the risky one. Sometimes I abandon healthy, safe zones. Can I ask you a question? I don't even know how to say your name. I think it was the one with the Libras, like Ugurakan. Are you a male or a female? Doesn't matter. Just respectfully want to ask. Um, if you don't want to say it, that's okay. I just can't tell. And I want to be respectful. Going to say night all. I really hope we could do this again soon. I look forward to watching notifications, comms training. Thank you, Jen. You too. It was nice talking to you. Male. Okay. That's what I was thinking. Don't know when to take the safe option, when to take the risky one. Yeah, that's a hard question to answer because it's really about what it is. Um, honestly, it really, again, I mean, I know it's cliche, but it sounds like you don't really know how to trust yourself, and you don't have a relationship personally with yourself and what's best for you. Um, also, there's a difference between filling your needs versus filling your wants. Um, most of the time, you need to fill your needs before your wants, and sometimes you need to do something risky in order to fill your needs, meaning abandoning what it is you normally want and what you think that it is that you want, and going towards something that you need instead. So, for one, it would be good to build that relationship with yourself and learn to trust yourself. That's what you're talking about, mostly education and work in that area. Again, that's hard. That's going to be up to you. I would say if you're in something that's draining your energy, though, and it's sucking the life out of you, you may want to, within reason, take a risk. Ask what's really keeping you there. This, again, is like solar plexus energy. It's all about making decisions and feeling the safety and the power in making decisions. Like, a lot of times when people have a lot of indecision and don't know what to do about making decisions like that, they have solar plexus issues. And I say this from personal experience. So also do some solar plexus work. All right. Well, we've been on for almost an hour and a half. It was really nice talking to you guys. I think I'm going to end this. And I don't know. I'd like to come on soon. I might come on more often than not just because I might be needing it myself or whatever. So, and just see what everybody's up to and how everybody's doing. I tried to abandon lying for a while. Why doesn't being a nail tuck work for you? And why do you lie? Thanks for coming on. Nice talking to you. You guys too. This was really nice. I'm still a little anxious, but I guess I'm better than I was. I'm sweating balls right now, though, so I don't really know. So while you guys are on, though, is this the type of thing? What do you mean by keep people out? Is this the type of thing where it would be better to do, I guess it doesn't matter, I'll probably do it different times of the day, but during the day or at night? That's the only reason I lie, I guess. I don't know, it was never just lucrative for me. Did you promote yourself? Like, did you work in a place? Did people come in and have you do their nails? Like, did you ever rent a booth? Met bad people. What do you mean by keep people out? You lie because you want to keep people out. Like in a Yeah, it's my first time doing live. You guys are on my first. Never done it before. Um, like kind of like in a selfish thing. Like you don't want anyone else to have what you have. Like that type of line. Like it's all mine type thing. Are you into doing shadow work? The one who's talking about lying. Do you do shadow work on yourself? Whenever I have to reel anything about myself, I usually lie. Are you lying right now? By any chance? I don't say that judgmentally. Are you? Or are you just honestly telling me right now? And do you do shadow work on yourself? Are you willing to do shadow work? Girl, I did run a station, owned a shop. Tried to time to time. What is your intention in telling me that you lie? What's your intention in that? I agree. Okay. And what are you scared of if you were 100% honest? Which, by the way, I don't know if everybody's 100% honest. Um, I mean, for the most part, you are, but we do live in a certain type of world too. So you do have to like know when to be smart about things too. So just know like you're probably not always going to be 100% honest. Like I might be like, "Oh, I'm going to go eat dinner and I might go to the bathroom." I know it's like simple, but you're not going to be 100% honest 100% of the time. But I get what you're saying though. But people will see I conflict a lot. Yeah. Are you dramatic? You're a dramatic type of person. I'm telling you, you have a lot of work to do. And I mean, it's obvious, we all do. But it's one of the things when I went through my awakening, I really had to realize was that I actually became addicted to drama. And I had a lot of imbalanced energies, and I was going to destroy a lot of relationships in my life because I saw the patterns of the certain types of people I was around. And when I wiped that out and I didn't have that drama anymore, I didn't have them to take the mirror off me anymore. And so now it's like, where do I get that little bit of like, whoo hoo hoo, fluff type thing, you know? And I would start to get anxious or whatever. And I knew I was going to be creating drama, and I really had to work on a lot of my energies within myself, or I was going to like destroy things. And I had to start creating my own stuff. I had to create myself. I had to literally, that's one of the reasons I created my channel, was to start a creative endeavor, because most people who do that, they have imbalanced sacral chakras. They don't have healthy uses of that sexual creative energy. And if they're not aware of what they're doing, they're going to use like abusive or narcissistic or whatever type relationships to bring that drama in their life that makes them realize they've like it sounds to me like you don't know really who you are and you don't have your own stuff going on. So you almost have to create a mask to create that image and that illusion, and that's okay. But it just depends when do you want to do it anymore or not. And if not, then you got to take the responsibility of creating that. Like you're not going to get over lying. I mean, for one, there's more to that. There's a safety issue to that. There's a for some reason something probably when you were younger, like you had to do that to survive or you didn't know who you were on that. But you never created who you were. You've got to create who you are and you've got to face your shadows and face that part of you or you're not going to be able to get over lying. Because it's like, unless you can literally just say, when people are like, "Oh, how do you this?" You're like, "I don't know. I don't know. Who are you?" At this point, I really don't know. I tell people that all the time during certain phases, "Who are you?" I'm like, "I have no idea. I'm just doing and figuring things out and doing the best I can." I don't know because sometimes it changes and I don't know. Um, but I know certain things I like and stuff. But in order to really make it to where you don't lie, like, you've gotta figure out who you are and work on yourself. Because I wasn't secure in myself, I used to shrink myself down and make others feel better. Now I speak my mind, and that's what I feel, stand for what you believe, right? And that's okay not to, we never always know. That's right, I agree. Actually, a lot of times, mm, like, the more you admit that you don't know and you just flow with things, the more you leave room for magic to happen, and the more you leave room for more of you to come in. Um, but seriously though, I mean, and if you're really wanting to work on that, let me know on the lying thing, but, um, anybody who lies in that way, and I don't say this judgmentally, you're not empowered in any way. You may be wanting to take the easy way out. There's a little bit of entitlement to it. There's also a little bit of, is it a safety issue? Is it an entitlement issue? Is it, I have no idea who I am, and if I don't hold this mask, it's gonna show. I don't have enough of my own stuff I'm creating and doing, so drama is your entertainment. Like, really gotta look at all that, you know? Um, that's the type of stuff that's gonna help you to where you're able to stop lying, and also just to sit in that uncomfortability. Speaking my mind is really hard, though. A lot of my thoughts are contradicting, and I don't know how to explain those to anybody. You still gotta figure yourself out, because that's why it's gonna be contradicting. That's not always bad, to be honest with you. If you listen to my channel, I have a lot of contradicting ideas. Because I show you different points of view. Because let's be honest, like, this world is abundant enough to hold multiple realities. That's why you gotta really pay attention to your reality. Your thoughts create your reality. And my reality could be different than someone else's reality, and we're living in the same world. So, like, this whole thing in my awakening, I didn't see this whole world. I wasn't into all this. I took a chance by doing all this, and then all of a sudden, here's all these people that I had never seen before. So, um, you might have a lot of dualistic energies going on with inside of you, and you also probably don't know who you are, to be honest. But I very much will have contradicting ideas. Like, when I work with people sometimes, I will show them different perspectives that can almost contradict each other, just because I want people to make informed decisions based on different perspectives and which one resonates with them most, because it really sucks sometimes when you make decisions and you never even thought about this complete other perspective. So, I don't know, and to be honest with you, how do you not know that by speaking your truth won't help you figure it out? Like, I'm a talker, so a lot of times I talk to figure things out. That's why sometimes I'll go on and I'll do videos and I'll just talk to you guys about what I'm going through, and I'm like, "I'm sorry if I'm all over the place, blah, blah, blah," because through me talking and doing the video, it helps me figure it out. So I would just talk. I would just do it. Just get it out. Hear yourself. Hear other people's perspectives. Be okay if they don't agree with what you say. Be okay if they conflict. Be okay if they ask you why. Walk. That's literally the valley of the shadow. Walk down it. That's how you find who you are. And just be okay with it. It feels to me like you don't feel safe. There's a safety issue. There's something going back to your past there that's like you just you never felt safe enough to express who you are and develop who you really were. You kind of like, for lack of a better word, shapeshifted depending on who you are around. Like how you word it, magic, because the majority of times it's our perceptions that was faulty to our results. We view ambiguity as unstable or scary, it becomes drama. Right. I'm definitely a person, like, you'll hear me just by talking, I'm, like, all over the place. Like, my mind just goes, and, like, thank God my husband can handle it, but and I'll be like, "Well, what about this, though?" And then, like, 2 seconds later, I'll be like, "Well, I don't know, because this is true too, though." Like, I'm all over the place, but, I find my truth at the end of the day, but I can hold multiple truths. I know, like I said, the world is abundant enough to hold multiple truths. So it's okay. Like, just voice that, let it out. There's safety in that. I get a lot of hate for the past couple of years, specifically whenever I speak my mind. Who are you around? I know yours, Taurus. What sign is your husband? He's an Aquarius sun. That's probably why he can kind of handle my airy. I have a Gemini moon and rising, so he can handle my airiness. I'm all over the place. He's an Aquarius sun. He's a Leo moon, Capricorn rising, and Venus. Ooh, who wins an argument? It's back and forth. It definitely balances out. I don't always win. I mean, I don't. It's not really about winning. It's we're both willing to look at both of our sides in it and everything, and we grow together. We work together. So, um, I'm definitely better with words, I would say. I mean, he's good with words too, but I'm definitely able to explain things better, so I explain my argument very well. Your opinion is yours, you might need new friends. Laugh out loud. I feel you on the air part. Yeah. That's fair. You seem so level-headed for someone that absorbs so much energies. Mhm. I hope so. It's crazy. 'Cause on one hand, I am very grounded, and on the other hand, I'm all over the place. Like, I'm still working on fully getting in my body too, and, like, I know sometimes when I sit there and talk to people and I'm all like, and I'm just, like, going and I'm super hyped up and everything, and most people deal with it pretty well, but I'm just like, "I am so sorry I'm all over the place," and they're like, "It's okay, I understand." Yeah, I've moved away from a lot of people just because of this and definitely benefit from that. You 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 need some healing, like, really. This is really past stuff that keeps coming up, and there are certain things about yourself and about the people you grew up with that energy signature-wise, you are attracting to you. Um, and there's just really nothing more I can say on that except for you to, like, do some work on that. If you need help, let me know. Otherwise, there's not a lot I can really say without you doing some of that work on yourself. This really, 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 really feels to me like this is a lot of past stuff. So either A, and I say this respectfully, please know I don't mean disrespect by this. Either you're just wanting my attention right now and wasting my energy. I'm not saying you're doing that, but if you are, I can't help you more than this because at this point, this is your past. This is past stuff. Really, you got to work through. You're attracting those people to you, or you really, really just need to work on that. And if you need help, I can help you, but you need to be willing to look at something in your past. There's something going on there. I have to heal a lot of body image and anxiety. It works to write things down. Yeah, it does work to journal and write things down. I wish you the best on that though with the lying, and if you need help, please let me know. I have much respect for you. Um, but because that's so ingrained, I don't think you're just gonna stop. I mean, pray or meditate or ask your guides or whatever, but um there's gonna be a lot of work and a lot of responsibility on your part on that. And I recommend doing it, to be honest with you. 'Cause a lot of people, when you say that to them, they're like, "Oh, I don't wanna do that." Well, let's think logically about this for a second. You're doing a lot of work anyways. It's just your work's not paying off, and it's developing, like, sucky either anxiety or predicaments or whatever. Or you can do the work that you're doing anyways, and it actually pays off. So I'd recommend doing it. It's the best work I've ever done. I mean, it takes a risk. That's that riskiness. It takes a risk to go away from what your normal patterns are and what you normally do, and to be able to just go and work on yourself and sit with yourself and try new things. But the other way clearly wasn't working. So, I mean, if you want to share it, share it. We're a safe group. If not, work on it on your own, or you can work on it with me. Just know though, if you choose to work on it with me, like, be prepared to work on it, cuz no, you're cool. That's what we're here for. Unless, I mean, if someone else wants to talk, they're more than welcome to. So, but if you really want to work on it, like, no, like, I'm going to dive and I'm going to work on it and I'm going to pull that part out, and you're going to have to be honest. I'm going to know. I read energy, so I know for the most part if somebody's lying to me. And if you do and you're working through it, it's okay, but just don't waste my time. I'm sure you do hurt people because of that. But like I said, there's really I mean, if you want to share it, share it. But there's nothing else I can really say about it on here. For one, if you want to share what it was, share what it was. If you want to work with me, work with me. But I mean, you know what I mean? It is what it is, and I wish you the best on it. Okay. I get it, but be careful too with that thing of, like, so if you're talking to somebody, because there's some people, so I'm just gonna say it, I'm a very honest person. Y'all should know me by now. There's some people who have that type of energy that you're talking about working through, that even if they're honest in that moment, they'll do it just for attention in that moment. So again, like I said, be willing to work on it. And you're gonna go past a certain point because mean, otherwise there's nothing I can do and it's just gonna drain my energy, and I'm not gonna be willing to do that. For example, I'm in my early 20s and I'm actually pretty conservative, and I've had to lie about that. Why? Hmm. Hey, baby girl. I haven't seen you in a while. I'm gonna stay here a couple more minutes to figure that people in their 20s really hate. How would you describe the feeling of energy? That depends though too. Are you talking about energy like that I would feel, or energy that I would feel in somebody else? Thank you. I don't know necessarily if I can describe the feeling of energy, but I know what I feel when I feel energy. Like I can feel me responding to energy, but I don't know necessarily if I feel energy. And that also changes too. So again, it would depend on what I feel, but energy is different. Like, when you get that kind of feeling, yeah, you would feel exactly um like some you might get that feeling like something in the pit of your stomach or something's just not right, or you would just feel something. And some of it, like, you have to learn what your body is telling you and what certain things mean. But I don't know if you could really say like how an energy would feel more than you can what you would feel in response to the energy. You know what I mean? So, does that answer your question, Drea? Is that how you say it? Drea? Drea? I think it's Drea probably. I may the next time I come on here, like, because I've been doing like CCT work and it's really good, and I set up fields and everything. I might do that for us the next time I come on here, and maybe it'll help people, or actually do like a little mini like general session for like balancing or stabilizing or something. Hi, Madeline. Yeah, I think it'd be cool too. I think it would be helpful. Then that way you guys could also see what like CCT is, but it would also like it would help you guys as well. Thank you. I think we all make the world a better place. I just try to do what I can do. I'm not even gonna lie. I mean, part of it is like I like helping people, and I know it's what I'm supposed to do because honestly, it's like the shamanic illness. Like You can't not, 'cause bad things happen when you resist it. But, it's for me as well. I'm not gonna act like it's just all for people. I enjoy it, and it helps me in the stuff I go through and all of that. And I just learn and give, learn and give, learn and do. And most of the time, I just take what I found helps me and what works for me, and then I do that. 'Cause I work on myself a lot, so and then I trust in the universe to bring to me whoever is going to need what I've figured out or what I have to offer, or that can even help me. Like most people I work with, they help me too. Oh, the light language channeling or just the tarot channeling? Thank you. I'm trying to rest and take care. Yeah. The light language has been something else. It's really transformed my shamanic services a lot. Actually, the CCT has too, because the CCT, when I did that, is really what just kind of blew my services to the next level. And I found myself in my shamanic services doing things I've never done before. And I was like, what did I just do? Um, so it's pretty crazy. Thank you, Drea. It was nice talking to you. Hopefully we get to talk to you again soon. Good night. Tonight was just a test, so hopefully the next time I come on, we have something more to do, something really more to talk about. Like I said, I will bring in the CCT, maybe even some light language or whatever, maybe some subjects or something that I'm figuring out now that I can get this going. I'd rather shift my camera view because I really hate that it doesn't look like I'm talking to you guys, but whatever. Maybe even do like some mini reads, just like advice mini reads. Didn't get a notification. Looking forward to a future video. Light and love your way. That sucks. I'm sorry, just me. Like that happens sometimes with YouTube. I even find a lot of people like get removed as subscribers from YouTube, and they're like, "I didn't do that. I don't know what happened." That's why I would tell people in my videos, like, make sure you're subscribed because transform me. I would like to learn more about CCT. Talk more about that. CCT is crystalline consciousness technique. So you can also look it up. It'll tell you more about that. But it uses sacred geometry, and it's a very, very high frequency. It's like 11th or 12th frequency. And it's a very crystalline energy. So most people, except for like the younger people, but even them, they can be trained to be in their electromagnetic field. But especially like more older people, especially if you're like 1980 or before, are in more of their electromagnetic field body. It's a heavier, denser body. It's heavier and harder on your body and your organs. So it's not as light. Like the energies we're moving into, the earth is raising frequency, which is why all this is going on. People have to also raise frequency with it. Factually, it's raising frequency. So crystalline energy is very much a high frequency. It's a faster energy, and it's where our bodies are going. They're turning crystalline. So it helps put you more in your crystalline body, especially if you do like an activation. But you have to work on really keeping yourself there. That's why every day I ask to connect to my symbol and set my own fields. So I might actually start doing that like every day on my channel for you guys. But and it really helps quicken and fasten the rate at which like healing, change, transformation, all of that can occur. Sometimes because it's happening on such a high level, sometimes it just removes the energy of what's blocking and you just move past it and go. And sometimes it brings to the surface what it is, and it works on a high energy, and then it trickles down like into the 3D. So it's really, really good for like healing, transformation, change. Um, like you could do sessions or chart work. I did a transitioning chart on myself because I was having difficulty. It's one of the things that like is throwing me into my personal view of this awakening I'm going through right now. My dark night of the soul is I did a lot of stuff through CCT on myself, and it started moving a bunch of energy. And I did a transition chart of my old me and then the new me because something in me was resisting. It was almost like I knew what I needed to do, but something in me wasn't energetically aligning to it, and I was having trouble figuring it out. And so I did one of those. You can do either just do a session or a session on a chart for particular things. And I did one for that. And it was like right away I felt the energy changing. And it's like instead of battling with reprogramming just your mind, but then having some other thing you don't know what's in your way, it helps remove that and more either align you to where you're going or bring up and show you what's blocking you so you can align where you're going. And then now I only have my mind to work with, like to create new neural pathways and mental, because you're not going to go like so many years. Like I'm 38 years old. Like I'm not going to go 38 years with a pattern, just boom, it's gone. You're still going to have to work out some of that stuff even after you awaken to it. So now instead of having my mind and something else, I just have like my mind. Like I'm more aligned with where I'm trying to go. And it just makes it quicker and faster. Like honestly, I wish I had it the first time I had an awakening. I feel like it would have made things a lot faster for me, easier. But and you could use it really for anything. It doesn't have to be like awakening energy or whatever. It could be healing stuff, energy stabilizing. If you're really just trying to figure something out about yourself, if you, I don't know, like I use it for different things. Sometimes people need like easy transition of somebody no longer being in their life anymore, or they don't want to be drawn to them anymore, or there's something between the two of them, like that energy needing to be healed between the two. You can use it for many, many different things, but it's very, very high frequency basically, and it accelerates the rate of healing, transformation, and all of that. Very high energy. So I think that's why it took all of my practices and my gifts to a whole new level as soon as I did the level 1 and 2, was because now I was functioning at such a higher frequency. I hope that makes sense. It's a little hard to explain because it's something so high frequency, it's kind of beyond human comprehension. There is a website you can go look at, or email me and I'll send you more about it. But it uses a lot of sacred geometry. And also mine kind of evolved a little bit where it had me develop some of my own stuff to use with it. Like my guides had me draw some of my own symbols, like light language symbols that I use in it as well. That was for me, and sometimes I use them for other people. So I don't know if that would quite be sacred geometry. Some of them are sacred geometry and some of them are just literally light language symbols, and they're like some other dimension of energy. Um so if you want to know more, email me, but I highly recommend it. You know. Like I said, email me though. I can send you more information if you want to know. It's pretty right on too, like especially when you like dig into energies behind stuff. Um the stuff it reveals is it's crazy how much it a lot of times what it reveals and how it's right on. You're welcome. And in case you're wondering, my email is in my description box below my videos, but I think it's up further in the chat too. Someone put it, but it's exactly like my channel, but like all one thing. So it's eyes, EYEZ, WIDEOPEN 1111, eyes wide open 1111 at gmail.com. But it's also in the description box of my videos. Do I feel a little better? Yeah. Uh, my body feels the same. My nausea has subsided just recently now that I think about it, so we'll see on that. Um, my heart's still a little beating a little faster and I'm still a little anxious. I'm sweaty for some reason. I don't know why, but yeah, I do. Especially because it was something that like I really wanted to get done. Like I was like yesterday I was going to get this done. And then something came up, like, legit that I had to do. I was like, "Damn. Alright, I'll make sure I do this today." So, I really wanna do this, and I've really been wanting to do this, and like I said, it's just when I was going through my hardest night of it recently, thank you again for sharing that. When, I was, like, sitting in the bathtub trying to relax, and I was just like I felt really alone, and I get that, you gotta go through that during the dark night of the soul and everything, but I felt really alone. And even though, yes, my husband is here with me, like, that doesn't help. Like, for one, he's an Aquarius. No. Like, he's has a huge heart, but does not know how to really be there in that way. He's there, but not like in the way where you just want somebody to hug you or hold you or it'll be all right. I don't even know if that's healthy, but um and so I just realized I felt really alone and I knew I probably wasn't the only one. So I was like, I really need to like start a group and make it to where we can like come together. Hi KD One Love. Where we can like come together and like talk and help each other. Cause like I said, I'm not the only one going through this. So it was really, really important to me. And when I had that realization, when I journaled, I'm really, really working on doing all the things that I wrote down that I really loved that I never did and not resisting it anymore. So, damn it, why can't they just pet us? Exactly. Yeah, it's hard. I have to restrain that a little bit because I'll like intertwine souls and everything. But it's weird though. I'm working on that about myself because it's usually only the person I'm with that I really want that from. Which is good in a way, but it's not at the same time. Like I should be able to welcome love and nurturing from other people, even females. I especially block it with females. Um, Even though I'm like really there with them, I never learned how to bond in a physical, intimate kind of, no, I don't mean sexual, but physical, intimate way with females, but especially males, especially unless I'm intimate with them. So I really need to like work on that. So because I have an imbalance in my feminine side. So I really need to work on that, you know. And it's not that I can't like ever touch anybody or have them touch me, but I don't look to that. Like if I go to nurturing, I wouldn't like go up to my mom and be like, hold me, like I don't find trust in that. And it's not that my mom was bad or anything. I don't know why I never developed it. So and I would like to be able to have that. I am just joining. I have a random question. What's the true meaning of 666? I personally don't see it as something negative. It's just a symbol. It's a number. It's whatever it means to you. So if somebody wants to put energy into 666 being like the archetype of devil, then it will, it's whatever you give energy to. Um, like, what's an example? Like if I give you a power symbol or I give you like a animal symbol, animal spirit. I mean, yes, there's overall meanings to it, but you need to look at what it means to you because there's a lot of symbols and everything speaks to you in your own way. So 666, do I know the number as typically being evil? Yeah, because that's what's taught to us. So is witches. Witches have a negative connotation, but I don't feel that way about witches. I think there's a lot of witches, you know? I think that um thank you for that. And you're welcome. But like I feel like doctors are a type of witch, you know? I mean, there's especially a lot of religious people see witches as a bad thing, and I don't see witches as a bad thing. Strong women are not as intimate. Interesting. We want it, but are afraid to go there. I wonder why I'm working on being vulnerable. It's just an imbalance. I feel that it also comes from having a receptivity issue, being able to truly receive love and nourishment. Right. Tarot is a tool, so you can use it for whatever you want. Like I don't do like I try not to do obsessive stuff. I use tarot as a tool to help me see how to help people work through their shadow. So I realized when I really had a problem with my feminine side, I had a problem receiving. And I knew that I had to work through that because in order to really heal my body, which I've been working on doing, how am I supposed to receive the nourishment from my foods and health from my foods and from people and love, all the things that can nourish me if I have a problem receiving? I have no problem giving, I have a problem receiving. So, um, feminine energy is receptivity, you know? So usually if you're how did I allow it? Still working on it. I know I was doing a session one time and we were trying to work on my feminine energy and they kept trying to bring in like female, like the high divine feminine, and they were all humanly female, and I was just like I couldn't relate to any of them. I didn't know why. I didn't feel safe. And then finally what came to my mind was Mother Gaia. Kind of like this. I don't know if you've ever seen Moana. If you haven't, you should totally watch it because it's an amazing like cartoon movie. But she looked very much like this. This. And so this came to my mind when I was working on it. So Mother Gaia came in to work with me, and that I could trust because I could see myself being embraced kind of in the bosom of earth. I'm like an earth sign, a very earthy. So the bosom of earth and the animals and nature and everything. Um, so that has helped me a little bit. So I am working on, you know, I'm still working on it. Honestly, that's not something that just goes away. I'm still working on my receptive side. And allowing, who knows, maybe that's why my awakening is so hard, is having a hard time allowing the energy to just move. Honestly, what I would like to do, what I've thought of doing is like doing like little classes or seminars where women come together. I mean, women and men could do it too, but women come together and I don't know how to say this without sounding weird, but we kind of do touch each other. Again, I know this sounds weird. I'm not talking about in a sexual way. And we focus on how does it feel? Is it uncomfortable? Is it comfortable? If it's uncomfortable, focusing on why and focusing on allowing and finding the comfort in that. And then also knowing in that moment, like, what do we need? And so it's not just about receiving it and learning how to receive it and find comfort and love in it, but also being able to voice what we need, you know? Most people who also are overgivers like that, not only do they not know how to receive, they don't know how to voice their needs to people, not in a correct way. And most of the time, they don't even know what they need. But if they do know what they need, they don't know how to ask for it. Like, say with my husband, because I have an issue with that. Well, I've worked through a lot of it, but at one time I would be like, I just need you to be there for me. I just need you, like, just come and be there and blah, blah, blah. And so what I'm saying out of my mouth is, I need to be there. And he's looking at me like, well, here I am, problem solved. And I'm looking at it like I'm seeing him hold me or being soft and gentle with me and telling me it'll be okay. And I mean, I get men could do that, but really actually, like, I'm asking him to really go into his feminine. Most men are not fully naturally like that. So it's not fully fair to ask him to do that. I mean, although he does need to work on that within himself and tapping into his divine feminine self, although I will say he's a pretty nice mix of feminine and masculine. But I don't know. Maybe that's my imbalance. Maybe I'm looking for a motherly energy from a man, And so on one hand it is that, but on the other hand, I'm having to learn also how to voice what I need and the balance of giving that to myself versus other people. I don't know. And I'm just kind of really realizing that I really kind of actually do need it from the female energy. And that's why I have a balance in my feminine energy, is because I never really did receive that. Mostly because I didn't allow it. And I think when I was doing the session, the reason why was I think my mom had a lot of fear. And I, as a baby, felt her fear. So not fear of me, but just fear. I could feel the energy of her fear. And because I felt her fear, I didn't trust. So that was one of the things I got in one of my sessions as to why. And plus my mom has a similar too. My mom has an imbalanced feminine energy. She's a strong female. She's imbalanced mostly in her masculine energy, but imbalanced as well. So I am better about receiving now though, but I'm still working on it. I think honestly, if I had to really guess why somebody would be like that, I think they probably have some type of also like a heart chakra imbalance. Because that whole full like love and nurturing side. So it might really be worth it to do like heart chakra work and really cleanse out. There's certain medicines that can help with that too. So I know like sometimes they started regulating like microdosing or whatever. So I don't know. There's different things you can do. You can use plant medicine, you can do energy work. There's just different things. I'm still working on it. Steve Noble has great heart chakra meditations. I haven't listened to Stephen Noble. I know, is it Jason Stevenson? I like a lot of his stuff too. I think it's Jason Stevenson. Damn it. I gotta look it up. Michael Seeley. I think it's Michael Seeley or Michael Healy. Yes, I'm going to, but I think Jason Stevenson has a lot of the ones I like. Let me look and see. Yeah, Jason Stevenson. I'll have to look at Steve Noble. The medicines I'm not like, so there's plant medicines. I don't know, I'm like trying to decide whether I'm like, I don't even know the rules, whether or not I could talk about certain things, but like I know mushrooms, they're really good for your heart chakra. San Pedro is really good for your heart chakra. But they're like psychedelics, so I'm not advocating the use of them. I mean, it's whatever, that's on you. I don't know the rules on YouTube on this basically. So You have to check with your laws that are near you, do it in a safe way and with, shamans or practitioners who've used it, unless your guides tell you otherwise. But um I've heard that some people use like mushrooms also, even if it's just microdosing, and it helps you a lot work through heart chakra. It's just a very love energy. I mean, you have to be careful with I don't know about the mushrooms as much, but some of the other like San Pedro and ayahuasca and stuff like that, like you do have to be a little bit more careful. Um, Especially ayahuasca. Ayahuasca can be very healing energy or it can be very much a trickster energy. And who you do it with, who you do it around. Is it a safe environment? Did they set up space properly? Do they know how to cleanse space? Uh Even your teacher or like the teachers, I don't know, the shaman, the guide or whatever, like I don't know. Now you're getting into energy stuff and your energy's kind of like wide open. So that's a discussion for another day. But, you just really want to make sure that you're really in a safe space and around somebody who's safe and knows how to set up and work through that stuff. Because, your energy is being, what it really does is it's kind of like alcohol in a way, but in a way different way, is it um, opens you up. It takes away your defenses, not in a way like you're not safe. I mean, I guess you could not be, but it's it makes you fully open and suggestible, like your full true you. So that not only can you release things out, but like your higher self or your guides or whatever can also come in, like true consciousness and stuff. It removes almost the barriers in a way of being human, if that makes sense. Could be wrong. I'm not an expert. But I have delved a little bit into plant medicine. I haven't gotten that much into it. My guides are slowly introducing me and wanting to clear certain things out, but um I do know I honestly, most of the stuff I've heard people that have done ayahuasca and stuff, I've done most of that healing myself. Yes, it takes a little bit longer, but I've done it myself. Um I do think it has a place and a purpose, plant medicine. I do think it's used a little bit too much. I think that it's kind of like I think a lot of people, especially spiritual people, there's a fine line between plant medicine and addiction. And I think some people kind of rape the earth too much. I think plants and crystals and animals, like I do Kambo, I'm a Kambo practitioner, so I use the medicine of frogs also with people. And some people I think use it a little bit too much, but that's not really for me to say, to each their own. But I feel like all these things come in to help us and realize our own natural abilities and powers. I don't think the power lies in them. I think the power lies in us, and I think they come and show us that. Um, and I think that's one of the reasons they kind of have me waiting on using it, is to see all these other ways and use it as a last resort, because it is so powerful. And also, with all the people that are waking up, if everybody woke up and just started being like, hey, let's go do ayahuasca, which they're doing. Let's go do ayahuasca. Let's go pull all the crystals out of the earth. Let's go take all the medicine from all these frogs, which is their defense mechanism. Like, we would trying to do a good thing, like rape Mother Earth. I mean, the crystals help Mother Earth too, you know? Like every time we take ayahuasca, do we plant new vines? Like balance, right? Balance is needed. So I don't know. It's just a big thing I believe in. A little rant on my part with my belief on plant medicine. But even crystals, I don't think we should just keep digging all these crystals out. I mean, a little bit, but I think we should more focus on circulating them. Because if you ever notice, sometimes you're more drawn to a crystal than other. Like it aligns your energy to it, which is what plant medicine does too. So you might be drawn to a crystal and be like, oh, I'm really drawn to this. And then after a while, you're like, I'm not. And then you'll all of a sudden be drawn to another crystal. Well, it's because it's worked with you already. It's aligned your energy to it. So now most people just hoard and keep, which is a difficult message for Taurus, but they hoard and keep. And really, it should be you circulating it around. And someone else who needs that, then they have it. And then when you need one, you should trust that the universe is going to bring you a crystal. And then if you ever fluctuate and you need that vibration again, you should trust that crystal will be brought back to you. It's really an abundance mindset and just being able to go, and it's hard because especially for a Taurus, the Taurus loves their things. So, um, but it's just a belief of mine. It was something that I felt like I was really kind of told one time where it was just, we need to be giving love back to Mother Earth, like not just taking from her, including all the plants, including the animals, including all of that. Even crystals, like nobody ever thinks like, oh, you could take too many crystals. Well, she developed the crystals for a reason. Like they're for her as well. So um it's all in balance and it's all in respect. And just like, we rape each other, I think we rape the earth. So I'm hoping that as everybody keeps waking up, they don't just keep doing that. So, and I think they kind of already are, but all right. I don't know. Are you guys just listening to me ramble? Should we go? All right. Well, we've been on. Ooh, right when I said that, it was 2 2 2 2 2. 5 twos. 2 hours, 22 minutes, and 22 seconds. Well, she's so funny. You're welcome. Thanks. That means a lot. Most of the time, I'm like just talking and rambling, and I'm like, oh my God, I make no sense. um, but sometimes that's when people make the most sense, is when you're just the most confused. Does that make sense? I mean, no, that's not always true, but sometimes it is. And that's how I am right now. Like my mind is just, I'm full intuitive more lately. Like logically, I can't think as deep about stuff. Like cuz I can just feel like my third eye and everything. I can just feel it, the ascension symptoms more. I'm more like out there, which is why I'm trying to focus really hard on grounding myself. I'm glad it's valuable to you guys. Teresa, it was nice talking to you. I hope you really are able to work on yourself with all these energies going on and get all that resentment out of you and find who you are. Well, hopefully these energies calm soon. I mean, I think when it's shifting is when you like feel it the most, and it's just something else. It's in the sign of Taurus, so I think everybody feels it, but Taurus is going to feel it the most. Good. If you need help with that, let me know, but definitely do it. Start spending time with yourself, Work on your anger or whatever. Because that's deep. That's some deep stuff you're dealing with. That's not just going to go away in one day. It's going to take a little bit of time. And I'm not saying that to discourage you. I'm saying it actually to let you just know, so you know to keep going with it and don't get discouraged because you're like, oh, it's been a week and it's not over. It's not going to be like that. So just keep chugging along. But it does get better. It does get easier, but in like a weird way. It's kind of like a slope. Remember we learned in school, like slopes. So you'll kind of be like up and down. So you'll have ups and downs, but overall, if you're really working on it, the slope does go up, even if you have ups and downs. It's an overall slope. Thanks, Jackie. You're welcome. I think it will pass. I really don't know, though. Like, I just don't know if it's rougher for us because we're Taurus, or if, like, do we resist it, or is it just our sign? I will say, though, I'm pretty sure when Uranus was in Aries, like, they went through a lot too. So, but it's hard with Taurus because literally our energy is like a mountain, I mean, think of that. Like, think of like a hard concrete or rock mountain, and energy is moving through it. Like, you're like trying to move a mountain. So, I mean, I get it. We need to evolve and not be totally like that, but it's hard earth energy. So, not only are we earth energy, but we're fixed earth energy. And that's not an excuse. We can change. I'm not saying that to use it as a crippling thing, but you get what I'm saying? Like, metaphorically, it's so as energy like moves, like with me, it's almost metaphorically, like I can feel it like cracking through the mountain, and it's just like, um, and that's why there are certain things too that like do help with that, and that I've used to help with that plant medicine wise, plant spirit medicine wise, that kind of make the mountain a little less mountainy, more watery, I guess. Because that is our other element, so that is what we're supposed to evolve to. More like watery energy. Become less rigid. So, yeah. And really, it's equivalent to the Tower card. And the Tower card I usually put as either Aquarius energy due to Uranus, that's my main one, or Scorpio energy, like transformation. So, all right, I'm going to go before I turn this into something that was good for me, and then it becomes something that I'm drained by the energy of the end of it. Fixed mountain, exactly. All remedies are helpful. Thank you always. You're so much light. I love your insights. Keep shining. So many blessings. Thanks. This helps me too. So, I want to do these more often and start. Today was just a test, so I'm going to try to do other things with it, and have more of like goals. Whether I do little healing sessions or have topics or whatever. Mhm. Thanks. All right, you guys, I'm checking out. I love you guys. Thank you so much for talking with me. I'm glad it helped you. Definitely helped me. Also, checkbox for me on one of my to do things and actually got it done. So, yay me. But all right, I love you guys. Hang tight. I'll be seeing and talking to you guys soon. Hopefully, we'll be doing this a lot more now that I've got it somewhat going. I do need to figure out a difference in my camera, but love you guys. Check it out. Night.